Alright guys, well welcome back to another episode of Autohrycfix. So today is the big day. We're going to be starting our restoration and repairs on my 1997 Honda Civic. Today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be repairing the brake lines so that the car is movable. What I'm going to be doing is I'm not going to be replacing the whole brake lines from A to Z. I'm just going to be replacing the sections that are rusted through and that need to be replaced. So a few things that we need, some materials and some tools. I will go over that first, and then afterwards we'll go to the car and we'll start working. So first things first, what we're going to need is brake lines. So I purchased these brake lines on Amazon. The size is 3/16. That's what fits on the Honda Civic. I bought 25 feet just to make sure that I had enough. And it also came with a kit of fittings just for different makes and models. But we won't be using that today because I also purchased these compression joints. What happens is that inside there is a little ring, and when you put the ring on the line, you put it in and then you compress. It compresses the line and it creates a flare. I know there's some people out there who say you could just flare the lines yourself, but this is more of a do-it-yourself type of thing. So what happens is that you open the joint. Inside there is a little ring, as you can see there. You take your brake line, pass the sleeve over it, your little joint, your little ring, put it there, tighten it, and then you start compressing. I won't do that because I don't want the little ring to compress and create a flare, but you guys get it. We tighten it, and then it'll squeeze and it'll compress and you'll have a joint. So I went ahead and purchased 4 of these. I bought them at my local auto body shop. A few other things that you might need when repairing your brake lines at home. I went ahead and went to my local dealership and I bought brake fluid. It's very important to take a look at the dot on your vehicle. That is the type of fluid that goes into your specific vehicle. In majority, a lot of passenger vehicles come with dot 3. Newer vehicles nowadays might be dot 4, dot 5. All that basically is that there's the boiling point of the liquid in the brake system. Some brakes run hotter than others. For my particular Honda Civic, it's dot 3. So again, before anybody starts doing any of this work, you guys should go ahead and look and see what type of fluid you guys need in your cars. You can usually, sometimes it's on the reservoir cap itself. If not, you can look inside the owner's manual. If not, you can always go online and take a look and see. But very important, brake fluid, make sure that it corresponds to your vehicle. Another thing, brake cleaner. We're going to go ahead and use brake cleaner, clean up the lines, make sure everything is okay. Alright, so another tool that you need when you're repairing your brake lines, you're going to need a pipe cutter. You can get any standard pipe cutter. I'll show you guys how it works when we're at the car and that we're repairing it. Measuring tape. You need measuring tape. Measure how long you guys need for your brake lines. So, and another thing we're going to be using is ramps. So I'm going to put the car in ramps so that I have the back end of the vehicle up because I basically kind of know where it is, and at least it'll give me enough height to get underneath there and do the repairs. Some tools we're probably going to need are going to be the sockets that go with this. Is usually a 10 or an 8mm, but when we get to the car, I'll know exactly and I'll show you. All right, so let's get to work. All right, so here we are. We've put the car on the ramps. I've already taken apart the protective brace that holds all the brake lines in place. I'll go ahead and show you that. And I've already put some oil, and I had my wife push the brakes just slightly just to see where the leak is coming from, so I already know where it's coming from. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so as you can see, I've already repaired one of the brake lines a couple of years ago. Actually, I've repaired both of them, this one and this one. But over the years, the second one, just right here, it's all rusted, and you can see it's leaking. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna remove the joint that I had installed before, measure how far down I need, and I'm going to replace it. At the same time, I've noticed that the other brake line, I'm going to take a look at it. Maybe a little bit of surface rust. We'll see. And take a look and see if it needs to be replaced as well, and if so, I'll replace it at the same time because we're going to be bleeding the system anyway. So there you have it. Let's get started. Alright, so now that we removed the bad section of the brake line, what I'm going to go ahead and do is take my file, and I'm going to file the other end of the brake line that is going to be going into the joint. Why are we filing it down, you might ask? Because you need it to be as straight as possible, so that when the compression ring gets into contact with the joint and you tighten it and it creates a flare, you want that flare to be as straight as possible, so that doesn't have any leaks in the future. So what we're gonna do, again, we're just gonna file this down, make it as straight as possible, and at the same time, just to make sure that the hole there's no obstruction of the hole and that the fluid comes out easily. Alright, so now that we filed down the line, we're just going to take a little Scotch-Brite and clean off any of the excess rust or dirt that's around the line. After that, we're just going to take a little bit 180 sandpaper, sand it down so that the compression ring sits on the line properly, so that when it compresses and creates that flare, there's no debris in the way to make that tight seal. Alright, so we're just going to clean it up. Alright, so now that we've finally prepared the line for the fittings, we're going to go ahead and install the new joint. What we're going to do is we're going to unscrew and slide the top part first onto the line, and then we're going to take the little cup link and slide it on to the brake line as well. And then we'll just put the joint and tighten it. You guys are going to have to be quite careful because it's still loose on the line. You'll see once you start tightening it, it'll start to get tighter and tighter, and that compression ring will compress, put pressure on the line, and create that flare on the inside. But just for now, like I said, we're going to be just tightening it, but keep holding it because it'll move, it'll come down and get out of place. But you want to hold it up tight, get one key, hold the joint, and with the other key, you tighten. For this joint, I'm using 11mm keys. And you'll see, in the beginning, it's quite easy, but as it gets tighter, it will get tighter and it'll become more compressed. So just got to keep on going. Alright, so there you have it. The one end of the joint is installed. We have it installed onto our original side of the brake lines. So I'm going to go ahead and cut it in the front and install it in the front, and then afterwards come back and install my new line into this section. So let's go. Alright, so there you have it. We removed the rotted part, and I even went a little bit further just to make sure to see we got to a place where the line is solid on the car so that we don't have any problems later on. So we measured that out, and it's about 4 feet that I need. So I went ahead and cut myself 4.5 feet of brake line so that I can install it on the car, and then I'll have a little bit of play extra just in case, and I'll cut it while I'm there just to make sure that we're not missing any. All right, so we're going to go ahead and install. So we're going to take the joint, install it at one end, come over here, install it there, and then go into the back and install it there. All right. All right, so there you have it. One brake line replaced. Joint over there, joint over here. I already went ahead and put a little bit of brake fluid inside the reservoir. I pushed the brake a couple of times. It's building up a little bit of pressure, and as you can see, there is no leaks. So what I'm going to go ahead and do now is I'm going to replace the other brake line that is a little bit rusted. As you can see down there, it's more rusted than it is up here. I'm going to go ahead and do that. All right, so there you have it. I repaired the 2 brake lines. I had it attached right here with these 2 joints, and they join up with the other 2 brake lines over there. I went ahead and already put brake fluid into the system, and I pumped the brakes a few times to make sure that fluid goes through the lines, and doesn't make sure that there's no leaks. And as you can see, there's no leaks. I know it's not looking very pretty right now, but what I'm going to do now is going to let it sit for a couple days, and then afterwards, when I know for sure there's no leaks, I'll put back the guard that goes on top. So there you have it. We installed and repaired new brake lines. All right, so there you have it. We repaired our brake lines. We verified that there's no leaks. The only thing left to do is to bleed the system. But we're going to be doing that on the next episode. We're going to be removing the tires and verifying the brakes just to see if everything is okay, if anything needs to be changed. And at the same time, I'll teach you guys how to bleed the system, make sure there's no air. So let's go take a look at our to-do list and see where we're at. So far, we have changed the battery and we have repaired our brake lines. We're getting there, one step closer for getting this great car back on the road. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give me a like, share, and subscribe. And for those who are on Rumble, please give me a follow and a like. And I'll see you guys next time. Have a great one.